Hi, lovely viewers. Welcome to another exciting episode on Daily Trend Season 3 on New World TV Info English. Now, sometimes you wonder why some kids, when they are growing up, they like playing a lot, they are cheerful. Some too, they are just reserved, they are not moved by anything. Some too, when they see their other friends playing with some of their utensils, they also go and join their friends and play. When another person brings ball, they also leave and go and play the ball. We have all kinds of kids when they are growing up. And also, do you know when you go to parties, people also exhibit different kinds of behaviors at funerals, everywhere. Now, before the birth of Christ, during the ancient Egypt and ancient Mesopotamia, the ancient wise men of Egypt thought that everything that's common in all humans is humor. That humor is common in every human. And now, the father of all medicines, the philosopher, the healer, Hippocrates, brought about the Humorial Theory, which postulates that in every human, the ordinary person has, like, what makes us get an excessive energy to play and do all those stuffs is the concentration of a liquid in S. This liquid allows us to play and do all kinds of stuff when we are young. And you group this liquid in humans as the lymph, the black bile, the yellow bile, and the blood. And he associated all these liquids with the which is water, air, earth, and fire. Now, 600 years after he has postulated the Humorial Theory, another philosopher named Galen also came about to bring the word temperament, as some of us already know. And now, temperament is from the Latin word tempera, which means to mix up or to mix something up. And now we have various kinds of temperament in music and any other aspects. Now we want to look about temperaments about the human body. What temperament really entails. We're talking about temperaments about the human body, not in any other aspect. We're looking at the human body aspect. And I'm joined on this show with my two colleagues to help me differentiate and explain what really temperament is. So to my left, I want to ask my dear sister her view on temperament.
Okay. Thank you very much. Temperament, actually, based on what you are saying, I think it explains why some people are very optimistic about life, why some too are so pessimistic about life. It also explains why some people never get angry, why some people are always happy, and why for some people every expression of opinion is a declaration of war. So that's what basically temperament is all about. But this man, Saint Augustine, the great Saint Augustine, defined temperament as know thyself, know thy faults, and thus live. So this means that self-knowledge is a virtue that can never be neglected. Temperament is a part of our human nature and how they can influence our personality, how it can influence our motivation and our lives. It is important to understand how our individual temperaments affect us and how best to be able to know our individual strengths and weaknesses. In so doing, you'll be able to know your weaknesses and work on yourself.
Okay.
I also think that temperament is a sum total of our natural preferences, okay? It shapes our thoughts, our ideas, and how we react to our environment, okay? And it's also important to put out there that temperaments are not inherited. They are not genetics, okay? It's not something that we can get from our parents. Our parents do not pass down temperament to us. It is innate. We are born with it. Everybody has his or her own unique temperaments.
So based on what you guys are saying, can we say that sometimes we use this quotes like father like son?
Yeah.
So can we say, is it by lack for someone to have the same temperament as their parents, or is by what happens for someone to have the same temperament as their parents?
Well, first of all, we don't actually pick and choose temperament. So if somebody has the same temperament as their father, it doesn't mean it was inherited by his father, because it is something which is nature. because we also have some people too who are the total opposite of their parents.
Okay.
So with that, it has nothing to do with genetics.
It has nothing to do with genetics. If you have the same temperament with your father, it's just luck or chance. There is no way you can inherit your father's genetics. No, there is no way. And the saying like father like son, I don't think it has anything to do with genetics at all. It doesn't have anything to do with genetics. Maybe in other aspects, but not genetics.
And I think most people usually say that because you see, when you stay with your parents, you tend to adopt certain ways of life from your parents. So someone may just be doing some of the funny things they hear their parents do and all of that. So when they go somewhere, people will be like, this person is just like their father. But it does not necessarily mean that the father's temperament was passed down to that person.
Okay.
Yeah.
So during your explanation of what temperament is, you made mention of personality.
Okay.
Can you really differentiate between temperament and personality, or can we say temperament is the same as personality?
No. Temperament is not the same as personality.
Okay.
Most people think once you say, your temperament, then automatically is your personality. No. Temperament is just a part of your personality.
Yes.
But it isn't. Personality is the total makeup of the individual, but
so
temperament is just one aspect.
So like personality is a whole broad something on its own.
It's a whole thing on its own. If your personality is like out of 4, one part is your temperament. So it's not the whole thing. It's just one part of the personality, which is the temperament.
So
it's not equal to personality at all.
So growing up, do we develop our temperament first or personality first?
Well, temperament is something that you are born with. So right from childhood, a parent may recognize that this particular child is not so outgoing like the others.
Yes.
Automatically, that's the person's temperament. Okay, so maybe you can classify the person as an introverted person. Yes, but temperament is actually temperament is something that cannot be affected by the environment, but personality can be affected by the environment.
So based on what you are saying, you can clearly say that we form temperament first. We cannot use the temperament of a child to judge the whole personality of a child when he's growing up.
No, because you build your personality as you grow from your environment, your education, and all those things form up who you end up being.
So you can say temperament is more in like it forms a bigger part of a person's personality.
It forms a part of a person's personality. And I think that it's also important to put out there that even though we are born with temperament can be modified, okay? The fact that you are born to be a cheerful person or a quiet person does not mean that you forever be a cheerful or quiet person. If you want to change it, you can change it. If you're a cheerful person and you are like, well, I don't want to be a cheerful person anymore, and you want to be a quiet person, you can learn to be a quiet person. But you are originally a cheerful person. You can learn to adapt the qualities of a quiet person, but you're originally
So based on what you are saying, you can say that temperament can be modified or changed based on the environment and the people we associate ourselves with.
Yes, you can put it like that.
Okay.
You can put it like that.
So we can also make it clear that temperament is a subset of personality.
Yeah, it's a part of personality.
Yes, so it's a subset
of personality.
Okay.
The personality is the whole set, and temperament is a subset
of personality.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, a person can have 2 temperaments. It is not a rule. It is not a function there that one person is supposed to have only one temperament. No, you can be a cheerful person and you can be a very decisive person as well. Most of the time, people who are all bubbly, and cheerful like that, they are not really good decision makers. But then you can be a good decision maker and be a cheerful person as well. So that is, 2 things combining there.
Yeah, and as she said temperaments can be shaped and modified, okay? So if someone is actually very quiet, that does not mean the person can't be good at public speaking. The person can be good at public speaking when there need be. Yeah, and so we have people who are very quiet, but they can, when the time comes for them to be out there, they are out there. So we can work on our temperament and become better. We can adopt certain qualities that are not actually in us from other temperaments.
Oh, okay. So based on what you guys are saying, you can say temperament is basically the behavioral style of a person. That's how a person behaves. And personality is what and why the person does certain things.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You can put it that way.
So looking at that fact, can we say that we can look at the temperament of a child that's growing up to depict the kind of job a person can, that child can do in the future?
Yes. There are things that you can look at. There are temperaments that actually show that you would be good at this particular job.
Field. Okay,
Yes.
okay. Like a cheerful person will be good at doing stand-up comedy or doing comedy.
Being in the creative industry.
Oh, okay.
A cheerful person can do that.
Oh, okay.
And someone who easily make friends, who can easily influence someone, can easily fit into the marketing industry.
Yes.
So when you
Yes.
observe that in your child, you know that
They know how to talk.
perhaps he can.
They know how to convince you to
Okay.
buy something you don't
Yeah.
even want to buy.
Ah,
Yes.
okay, that's really, really
interesting.
good.
And there are even people who maybe they are not originally made to be in the creative industry, career wise, but then they can learn. That's why I said temperaments can be modified, so they can learn to be in that career place.
Okay.
Okay.
That means they can move from one place to another, no matter their temperament.
Yes. If you are able to modify
Your temperament, as
If you
adapt
have,
to conditions.
if your a particular temperament does not mean that you cannot do
Okay,
something.
Ganting.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can't do another thing.
So that means it's temperament. You can just fit anywhere you want to be. Bees, you can compromise and adapt a little.
Yes, if you want to, it's your choice.
Oh, okay.
Temperament does not actually confine us to a particular profession.
Yes.
But it can help you know that, oh, I'm really good at this, so maybe I can fit well in the writing sector. But if maybe you also have other interests of pursuing a profession that is outside your interest, you can work on your temperament and you would be able to realize that you fit perfectly there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, that's temperament. That's the whole ideology about temperament. That's what you need to know about temperament, so that you can know if your child is growing up, how to depict that child, how to know if that child is doing this thing. That means this is the child's temperament.
Yeah.
If the child is moving around, you know how to train that child well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you are just joining us, you're watching The Daily Trend, and today we have been talking about temperament. We've touched on what temperament is, we've defined temperament, we've also given some examples. We've also talked about what job a person can do if you find yourself to be a temperament A or a temperament B, what job you can find yourself doing. Let's go for a quick break. When we come back, we continue. Okay, now let's move on to another aspect. Okay, have you guys been in this situation before? Okay, you go to a party and then you see people depicting several behaviors. Like you see one person trying to be bubbly, not even trying to, is bubbly, goes around taking pictures, talking
dancing
to everybody.
As if the party is for him or her.
I know, right? And then you see someone also trying to be the MC of a program, like every role, the person wants to do something.
Yeah.
And then some people too are very quiet. Even when you give them drinks, they don't want to take it because they didn't get it themselves. because someone served them. And there are also people who you go to a party is for you to be free, do whatever you want to be, to want to do. But you see some people picking up cups, putting them, trying to arrange things, right?
Yeah.
So have you ever been in such a situation? Have you seen that before?
Yeah, because I've witnessed, I went to a certain party, and the party is not for the guy basically, but like you drink and you put the cup, and the guy will just pick the cup and go and put inside the dustbin as if he's been paid to be an usher of the party or something. But meanwhile, that's people and their temperament.
Yes, that's just different people displaying what their temperaments are.
Temperaments.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like the last party we had, we realized that, like back in the city, there's this particular person. Whenever he stands on the dance floor, you know that, oh, this particular person is him. So there was one time he didn't come for the party and everything was on the go slow.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you go for parties, you realize that there are some people who would be sitting very quietly, just staring and observing. Others too having fun. Others too would have fun, but they want to be very particular about things. So I think these are different temperaments.
Yeah. So the person who goes around taking pictures everywhere would be what?
Probably that brings us to the type of
that's what I want
temperament.
to talk about now. The types of temperaments from the ancient, the ones we know from the ancient philosophers, what they developed for us based on their theory and stuffs. They have developed 4 kinds of temperament that each human is supposed to fit in. But currently, it has been developed into many aspects due to maritable, compatible things and stuffs. So we are going to look about the 4 kinds of temperament, and later you find out where you fit and what you can do best. And one is the cheerful people. The people that will go to, that's my fellow colleague was saying, they'll go to parties like they are not the birthday boy, they are not even the host of the party, but the way they'll behave as if they own the party, those are the cheerful people. And we call those people the choleric people.
No, I think that is the sanguines, rather.
They are sanguines.
They are
those choleric who are sanguines.
Yes. They are the people who, when they don't come to class, everybody knows that this person is not in class because they are always loud.
Those people normally find their names on the names of talkative sheets.
Every day.
You know what they even say, like, write my name because I know
I'm going to talk, so write my name down. And those people also tend to be very optimistic people in life. Yeah. They are the people that there is nothing that you can say to them to bring them down. They are always optimistic. They have I can do it attitude.
Like they like everything they do. Everything they put their in and all for everything.
Bone in them at
they are always happy. They always inspire people. Like they are fun. They are everything. Excited.
They are mostly also realistic. They are real about everything, but they don't like beating around the bush. Because they don't want anything to hurt their feelings. Since they are cheerful and all those stuff, they always want to be happy.
And they're also adventurous too.
Yes, very adventurous.
Yeah. And a typical person that most people probably know is Donald Trump.
Donald Trump is
he's a sanguine. Yes,
and sanguines have a sense of humor.
Yes, they have a sense of humor. They can make the whole place
lively. Because I think I've watched an episode of Donald Trump on being interviewed, and the host asked him, "You want to touch his hair?" Then the man touch it. Then the man scattered that's his nature. He's a sanguine. He's a cheerful person. Cannot stop them. They like and all those stuff. And sometimes when he's even giving State of the Nation address from the White House, you see how sometimes he behaves.
Yes.
Funny, as if he's not being serious. That's their nature. That's how they are. And also
even when the corona came, he was making some comments, and journalists, people couldn't believe that a whole president was,
And I think I also watched another. Journalists were supposed to ask him questions, and one lady came, asked him a question. Then the lady wanted to ask a follow-up question. He denied the lady, and there's another woman came. That was about during the COVID era.
Okay.
And then the woman was like, he's a Chinese. He comes from China. She's a Chinese person. And Donald Trump was like, they brought the COVID She won't answer questions.
Yeah. I think I know
And the
that.
woman was like, he's discriminating. It was like,
Yeah.
nah, you people got the COVID, so can't be asking me questions. That's their
You
nature.
don't have
That's
the right to
their
ask me any question
yeah.
about
Even when
career.
they are serious, you can't even depict that they are serious. They're
Yeah.
always cheerful.
Yeah.
There's
And one
such
thing,
people. Okay.
and one thing about them is they live in the present. That's their strength.
Yeah.
They don't dwell on the past
No.
and they don't worry about the future. They live the moment. That's
The past is not the present.
Yeah, and also one thing about them is they
Exactly.
hit routine life. They don't like their life
Yes.
to be have a timetable about this
Yes.
moment they are going to do this. No, they
Yes,
always
they are
hit
spontaneous. Just do
anything
anything at
and
any
anytime.
time.
Yeah.
Why should rules?
How dare you give them a
Government.
timetable? No.
And-
They
and
can't go.
This will also move on to another kind of people we have. That's the people that will go to the parties as if they are the ushers of the party, the perfectionist people.
Oh.
The
Yeah.
people that think everything has to be perfect. You'll be in a room with them, you put your plate here. They'll come and take the plate and come and put it here. They won't talk, they'll be looking at you. Like, they want everything to be arranged perfectly. Like, they don't want it to be, like, when you go to their rooms, their books are arranged in order.
Yeah.
Like, everything.
Very
Such
neatly.
people, if they are not at home and you want to take something from their house and you call them, asking them that, oh, you
Where is
want
this?
this, you want this, you can't find it. They will tell you the exact place
Please,
for
what-
you to go
you-
and look for that thing.
Because they don't want
and
you to
would
scatter
find
their
it
stuff.
because they have everything arranged. They know where this is. They know
Know
where a
that
match is.
is,
They
yeah.
know where a knife is. They know where they have hidden something. So, such people,
Yeah, and
they
these
are always
people,
on point. They are orderly too.
Yeah, and these
They
people
are
are also.
perfectionists. They are melancholics. So
Thank
we are
you,
dealing
thank
with
you.
melancholic
Yes,
temperaments.
melancholics, yes.
Yeah.
And because they like everything being orderly, they are very intelligent.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they are very calculating too. So
They can
They-
depict the next action of something.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
and also since they are perfect, they even pay attention to details.
Yes.
They don't
they-
joke with them on certain stuff. They can even give you date and time when certain things happen. When you try to
It's
argue
true,
with them, you
it's
can
true,
never.
it's true.
Mostly can't even win an argument with them.
Yeah.
You should, because before they open their mouth to say something,
They have facts.
they have thought about the things and they have slept, they
Yeah.
have dreamt about it
Yeah.
before opening their mouth to talk about it.
Yeah.
So such people,
Yeah,
when you are going,
and one thing about them too, they hate to be betrayed.
yeah,
They hate betrayals.
Yeah. I think they hate betrayals because they are very faithful.
Okay.
When a melancholic takes you as a friend, you are their friend till the end of time. So when you betray them, they usually become very revengeful.
Okay.
And I think that's a weakness with the melancholic.
Yeah.
you know, that, and they are also slow at forming relationships.
Yes.
Okay, and also, I think one person I can really basically look at, everybody can even search online for and know which people the melancholics are the Elizabeth. That's Elizabeth the first and the second. And also, we can also look at Mother Teresa, the famous Mother Teresa.
Yeah.
Now, I want to also move on and talk about another type of temperament. That's the choleric.
Okay.
Yeah, the choleric and the people who are impulsive. They are swift. The passionate people. Yeah,
The
those
go-getters.
people. Yeah.
Yes.
They will get everything, and no matter what you do, they have to get what they want.
They know what they want and
Thank
they go
you.
after it.
Ah.
Yeah. They are
Yeah,
very
and-
principled. They are intelligent.
And with them, their energy is always
Hey.
high. They are always
They are very
high.
energetic. Yeah.
Very, very, very energetic and all those stuff.
Yeah. And they are not scared of competition.
Mm-hmm.
And failure is never a barrier. If they fail, they'll keep on trying till they achieve it.
Okay.
I think
That's
they are
their
more,
strength.
they are not more like, in terms of extrovertedness, they are more like the sanguines, right?
Yes,
Okay.
they are
Yeah.
also
They are more out there.
extroverted,
Yeah.
but they are more principled.
Bold.
So a choleric may be time conscious, but a sanguine, though extroverted, isn't time conscious.
When a choleric is decisive, the sanguine tends to be undecisive.
Decisive,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
And also with
these are
their
the
cholerics too,
differences.
due to their high energy, sometimes people can misinterpret their energy level to be something like a conflict something. Due to their high energy, they can do certain things like you complain, stop, but they won't stop. But that's them.
And they are impatient.
Oh,
They are impatient. Like
Very
they
impatient.
can't wait to get something done.
And
they want everything.
and
Back.
that's their anger. They also, most of the time, some of them have anger issues.
Yeah, some of
Yeah,
them
due
are
to their
time
fiery and impulsive nature, they have anger issues and certain stuffs.
And And if you don't know them, you think that they are proud.
Yeah.
Some cholerics are actually proud, and most cholerics too tend to be dictators. Okay, because they want to tell you to do things their way. They want a lot of things done their way, not this way. So even as a child, a choleric may ask you, why are you telling me to do this? They want reasons. So if you can talk of the various leaders that maybe were dictators, most of them are cholerics.
Okay. Then let's also talk about the last one. That's the phlegmatic.
Yeah.
The nuclear bomb people, the calm people. Yeah. Phlegmatic. They like keeping stuff inside. Like the people that when you insult them, they keep it inside their hearts for 3 years.
Are you really sure about that? I thought that's the melancholic.
Phlegmatic too. They also have that attribute.
Really?
Yeah.
Because phlegmatic
they have that. No, who's
people
the
pleasing?
Phlegmatic people, they are that calm nature. They are people that mostly like to ignore certain stuffs. But when they get to a limit and they explode, like no matter who you are, you have to get it. Whether they are parents, and after that you will feel bad. They will also feel bad.
You don't fear face.
Yeah.
Melancholics are also like that. Melancholics will be true to you. They will tell you the truth to your face, even if it's going to hurt you. The melancholic and the choleric are like that. So I think these are some similarities between
and they also
three temperaments.
And also one thing about them too, they hate conflict. Where place whereby they are fighting and they hate conflict. They don't really like.
So because of that, they are bad at argument.
Yeah.
They cannot argue.
I can't
with
really
you.
say they are bad. You can't really say they are bad at argument, but like they like meaningful arguments.
Okay,
but a typical phlegmatic usually doesn't like arguments. He will try to avoid anything that will create arguments. There are people like.
But they just avoid certain arguments that are unreasonable, arguments that are not valuable to them. They just like tangible arguments.
No, phlegmatics are scared of arguments. They like people. They live for people. They always want people around them to be happy. Yes. So even before they express their opinion, they sometimes think of, how is this person going to feel? Yeah. So they usually put people first before themselves. So they are not usually one that will like so much arguments.
And they appear to be unassertive sometimes. Because they are always pleasing people. They don't know what they want themselves.
Yeah. And they are not confident. I think that boils down to not being confident. Yeah.
And also with these various kinds of temperaments, you have to know them so that you can know how to really, really live with certain people. Because when you're living with someone who is having a high energy level, that person, you cannot behave with that person some stuffs. Like we're living with a perfectionist. You cannot really behave with that person and just be scattering everything in your rooms. Nah. Yeah, you go home. So you have to also know that thing and know how to, like that's when you are getting married, you have to check your genotype. Temperament, you also have to check it. You have to know your temperament. Are you really good? Because a perfectionist cannot live with someone who's not a perfectionist.
Yeah, it's true.
No, I don't agree with that. I think a perfectionist can live with someone who is not a perfectionist if the person decides to compromise. For example,
it can be a 50-50 situation.
Yeah, because people get married to the opposite temperament.
Let's not forget there are other factors
that you have to consider too. Not only temperament.
Personalities.
Yes. And temperament is not personality. There are a lot of things that builds up the personality.
Yes. Okay. But like, can we say two melancholics can get married, like they are perfect for marriage?
Yeah, why not? I think melancholy can be perfect.
Currently, we say that people who have the same opinion, the same temperament, the same behavior, the same personality they are recipe for disaster due to what they are having.
Okay, most people usually say like poles repel and unlike poles attract. Yes. But I've seen people who were so similar as friends. Comes your way each and every Tuesday at 8:15 a.m. and on Friday at 4:15 p.m. which repeats on Saturdays. We are also on YouTube as the Daily Trend playlist, and on Facebook we are the Daily Trends TDT at the Daily Trends. Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.